Hi students, we've got a video here for you that will hopefully assist you on your work placement. First, I want to congratulate you for making it this far. You have worked very hard in the last couple of months and now you are at the end of your study. Everything that you have learned, you will now put into practice in a real life situation. I'm sure you are very excited and also probably very nervous. So hopefully this video will give you some understanding on what to expect when you are doing your work placement. So first, you have to do 120 hours of work placement. It's best to do them all in one block of 3 weeks. So why that's important? It's because your residents will get to know you, the staff will get to know you, and you will also get to know everybody a lot sooner. Sometimes when people do work placement just 2 to 3 days every week, they kind of forget things that they learned from the week before, or the client and the staff, have days off and they may not have a continuous relationship with you. So that can make it difficult. But obviously, I do understand that for some people we are working and we're busy, and so we can only do what we can. But if you can, it is advisable to do your work placement in one big block, or at least the first week in one big block. So maybe take some time off from work and do your work placement for the first week in one big block, and then every week 3 days after that, if you prefer. Anyway, look, 120 hours, what can you expect? So on your first day going to work placement, the first thing that you are going to do is get an orientation from the facility that you are working at. So on your first day, you may start at 9 o'clock. You still need to do 8 hours shift, because it will equal to 120 hours in 15 days. So you start 9 o'clock, your workplace facility will give you an orientation. This will entail information about the facility. For example, where is the staff room? Where is the kitchen? What do you do in case of fire emergency? What do they expect from you? Some facilities have different policies and procedure, so that will be the time that they will orientate you based on their facility. So on the first week after that, you will be teamed up with somebody. There's 2 words that we usually use. Sometimes we call them your buddy. Sometimes we call them your shadow. So you will be shadowing. You will be following one person doing their job, and you will be following them to learn. On your first week, we don't really expect you to be doing anything but observing. You will be observing the worker and learning as you go. If they feel that you are able to do some jobs on your own, they may delegate you to do the jobs. But on your first week, things like ADLs, activities of daily living, like showering, toileting, grooming, feeding your client, you really should just be watching to begin with. On your second week, they may give you more opportunity if they trust you. And that's what you're aiming for. You want to be able to start to do it on your own. So by the second week, you should be doing a little bit more on your own with some supervision. So they will be just there near you. They can see you doing the task. On your third week, which is your last week, you really should have enough confidence to start doing more independent work, because this is it. This is your last chance, and you want to be able to learn as much as you can by the time you finish that work placement. And if you start doing more independent work on the third week, that will give you enough confidence that when you finally finish all your work placement and you get a job, you will have enough confidence with your ability to do the job. So that's the first 3 weeks. That is what you can expect. Now, all of you should have spoken to student support to allocate all the different facilities. We have a few different facilities that you can attend to. A lot of people choose facilities that is close to them, to where they live, which is great. But if you don't have a car, make sure that you choose a facility that is close to public transport. I've had some students who did not think it through. How are they going to get there? Remember, when you're doing your work placement, chances are you will be doing your work placement early in the morning. It could be a 6:30 start every day, 7 o'clock start. So it will depend on the bus traveling that time. If you have to walk 20 minutes, put all of those things into consideration. So kilometers close to your place is good, but public transport, if you don't have a car, is also very important. The other thing that's really important when you are choosing your work placement is that you want to be doing work placement with another student, whether it be another one of your classmates or someone else from charter, preferably a place that we already know. Some places, if you are doing it on your own, you may come into certain issues that you feel you want to speak to someone. And if you don't have the confidence, then you have nobody there to talk to on your first day. It's always really nice to have other students with you in case there is something that has arisen for you. You have somebody that you can talk to. So keep that in mind. As I said, of course, outside circumstances may prevent us from following these guidelines that I'm telling you, and that is okay. But if you can, make sure you choose a facility that have other students from charter as well. Okay, so in saying that, I want to go through Accelerate. So I'm going to share my screen and you can have a little look at what we need to do on Accelerate. Okay, sharing my screen. Okay, so you have your Accelerate. You have opened up your screen. I'm sure you have got over there. You're very familiar with your qualification package. Over here, you will see the work placement section. So that is now the section that I'm sure you're in because you're watching this video, which is where this video should be located. Because I'm doing it right now, it is not there, obviously, but it will be. So I'm sure you now know how to get from over here. So you will see all the information in your work placement. Everything that you need should be over here. The first one, it says important information. So click on that, get it to come down and have a look. Over here, your work placement information. We have created a package with lots of information that I will suggest for you to go through, okay? Go through all of it. there is a lot of information there that will help and assist you. We have people asking frequent questions. They are answered all over there. What I'm going to go through in this video are just some of the things that I expect from you as a trainer, especially when I come and visit you in your work placement. But please start and read all of these before you go to your work placement. So we're going back over here. We have got over here, you can download that, which is the PowerPoint, okay? Which is what I want to go through with you. This PowerPoint is what I will be expecting from you when you are doing your work placement assessment. So as it says on the first one, go to Accelerate, confirm that you have access to your work placement. Things that I will be looking for. Make sure that you read all of your assessments before you go to your work placement. This will help you navigate what you need to do. Also, make sure that you are reading the overview. A lot of people don't read the overview section of their work placement. And they have a lot of information that you need as well. And also the information section, which we went through already. Now, as I said, planning is key. It's very important for you to know what you have to do before you do it. So the first thing I would want you to do is read everything about your work placement and also read your assessment. So what do you have in your assessment? You actually have 4 main units in your assessment, okay? Let me just show you over here. If you scroll down, you will see that these are some of the assessment. You will see over here, it says submission required. Excuse me. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see. Submission required. That means that there is something that you need to submit in that assessment. So when we are talking about that, that is actually, there is 3 of them. If you are an international student, you will need to do 3 assessments. If you are a domestic student, you're an Australian citizen or you live in Australia, you will only need to do 2 of the assessment, okay? So you will see over there, submission required, and another one. I don't have the other one because I am not, but these are the unit that I will be looking for. First unit would be age 0011. Okay, age 0011. 011, which is the dementia unit. The other one is CHC age 013, which is work effectively in aged care. And for international student, we need you to do CHC diversity 001, which is work with diverse people. So these are the 4 units. This one, the CHC CCS 031, is provide individual support. This one you need to do, but the evidence that I need from here is going to be based on your logbook. Okay, and I will go through that in a minute. So, 4 assessment, 3 of them will have a written assessment that you need to submit on Accelerate, and 1 of them is just about your logbook. Okay, if you are an international student, 3 assessment to be submitted and 1 logbook. If you are a domestic student, 2 assessment to be submitted and the 1 notebook. And these are all of them. Now, let's break them down individually. CHC AGE011 is the dementia one. Now, the hint that I'm going to give you, the best thing to do is when you start on your first week with the dementia unit, it basically wants you to concentrate on 2 people who are living with dementia. When you start working in an aged care facility, you will meet a lot of people with dementia. I want you to concentrate on 2 that you will profile, okay? So 2 you will profile. You will be working with lots of clients, but in this situation, you need just 2. That 2 client, I will want some evidence that you have attempted to get to know that client, not just doing their task, as in toileting them, showering them, and feeding them, and doing all of that, but I want to see evidence that you are making an effort to actually get to know them beyond the task. So I want to see that you have read their care plan. Did you find out about what their favorite food are? What was their history? What was their job before they got to that facility? Did they have family? All of these things you will write in a short profile. And you need to include their diagnosis. Their diagnosis will show me that you have actually read the care plan, because that is where you are going to find their diagnosis, in their care plan. So with the CHC age 011, provide support to people living with dementia. You need to support at least 2 people living with dementia. I need evidence that they are in fact being assisted by you, and that you have made an effort to get to know them based on their whole life, not just the task and the job that you are doing for them. Okay, so that is the first one. The second one is CHC age 013. This one is about working effectively in aged care. Now, a lot of this part, meeting your job role requirements, working with the organization requirements, work within the aged care context, I will be doing a lot of this when I come to visit you on your observation day. Okay, so when I come to visit you, I will be talking to your supervisor. I will be talking to your buddy. I'm going to try and talk to one of the clients or 2 of the clients, find a family member. I will be chatting with all of them to find out how you have been. Are you following the organization requirements? Are you caring? Are you active listening? Are you using privacy? Are you knocking on the door, making sure that you are asking? Are you giving informed consent? You're letting your client know what you are going to do before you do it. All of these things. Are you following work health and safety policies? All of these things I will be doing. So, but the last one, implementing self-care strategy, that's the part that you will need to answer in this assignment. So there will be a section there that will be asking you about how have you been looking after yourself, because it's very important when we are working in aged care that we are actually looking after ourselves. Very important that we have implemented some self-care strategies, and you will need to answer that. Now, this one the diversity, CHC33021, work with diverse people. This one will need evidence of 2 clients with disability or come from a different culture. I will need to see that you have actually, again, similar to the people with dementia, that you have shown interest with a client more than just the task involved. So again, you will need to write a short profile of 2 people from a different background, preferably 2 people from different background from you. So if you are Chinese, if you are Japanese, if you're Thai, you will need to find 2 clients that come from maybe an Italian or Portuguese client, or somebody with disability. Have they got hearing impairment? Have they got visual impairment? Do they have a mobility issue? Are they in a wheelchair? Any kind of disability will be preferred. And you need to find 2 other people to do that. Okay? So 2 people with dementia, 2 people from diversity. So that is 4 people in total that you need to profile. It will be great if you do 2 and 2, but if you have short of time, you can have 1 overlapping, okay? Which means you can use 2 people with dementia, and maybe one of the person with dementia have disability. So you can use that 1 person for the disability assessment as well, and then only find 1 other person from a different culture. So in total, you will only need to profile 3 people. But you cannot do the same 2 people with dementia and profile them both for the same people for diversity, okay? I need at least 3 people, because in the last assessment, which you will see, the 013, which is about the logbook, we need to make sure that we have 3 people for this assessment. Okay, so just confirming again, I need the 3 written assessment. The first one, the one with dementia, I need you to find 2 people with dementia. The diversity, I need you to find 2 people with disability and different culture. So you can have somebody with a hearing impairment from Italy. That is perfect. That's 1 person. Okay. And then you need to find another person. So it's not going to be hard for you because you will have a lot of client. It will be good if you have the 2 people with dementia, 1 with advanced dementia, and maybe 1 with early onset dementia. And the one with early onset dementia maybe have some kind of a disability. Then you can use them for your disability one. And all up, you will have 3 people. You need to profile at least 3 people for all of your assessment. And the very last one that I need is your logbook. So your logbook and will have the duties performed. Now, this is the important one. The logbook is used by me to gather evidence. All of this assessment is about gathering evidence that you have performed certain tasks that I may not be able to observe you doing due to privacy. For example, it's not really going to be advisable for me to go and watch you showering a client. Why? Because 1, you already have the client, have a staff member there showering them, and then have you as a student showering them, and then me as a trainer. It is very rude to have a person in such a private space having 3 people. We've always taught you that it's person-centered care. So there may not be opportunity for me to watch you doing all of that. Therefore, I need evidence that you have done that. So that is where you will write that evidence in your logbook. Your logbook should be signed by your supervisor every day after you have written all your duties that you did for that day. Make sure you don't write anything that you have not done on that day. For example, you need to do some shaving, but maybe you haven't done shaving. Do not write shaving if you have not done it. But if you need to do shaving, then you will ask your supervisor, can I do some shaving tomorrow? Because I need to do shaving. Now, you have to do at least 3 times all the duties that I have listed over here. Okay, so these are all the duties that I need to see at least 3 times documented on your logbook. So I don't need a whole heap of information, but if you did write bed bathing, I need to see bed bathing done at least 3 times. Now, you're going to be doing things like making beds, putting rubbish out, sorting laundry. All of those are part of our job, but they are not necessarily part of the things that I need evidence on. What I need evidence on is these 10 things. First, bed bathing. I need to know that you have done 3 bed bathing in the next 3 weeks. Shaving, undressing, showering, grooming, toileting, feeding, feeding somebody with, puree food. I need to know that you have done oral hygiene, dental care. I need to know that you have used a stand-up lifter, the body hoist, slide sheet. So write all of that down. I need to know that you have assisted your client in some kind of an activity. Things like, sorry, excuse me, I need to, things like having a conversation with them, doing a puzzle, taking them out for a walk. All of these things I know you will do every day. I know you will be toileting a client every day, but I need evidence. And part of the evidence is writing in your logbook. So these are the 10 things. Take a picture of it now if you need to. That these are the 10 things. I need to know that you've read the care plan. So write it down. Read the care plan. I need to know that you participated in morning handover or that you reported something to your supervisor. For example, you might notice that, Mrs. Jones is limping today. And you reported. I want you to write that down. Reported incident. If there was a slippery floor, did you report that and fix it? Yes, you did. I know you will be doing all of that, but I need evidence that you are in fact doing it. So on the day that I come to visit, those are the things that I am going to be looking for. Okay. When I come to visit, I usually visit you on the 2nd week. Why do I do that? On the 1st week, you will need to make sure that you are learning as much as you can. Your 1st week or your first couple of days, at least, you will have a lot of information. So I want you to just be present and learning things. Okay. Do not make your assignments number 1. The number 1 is your client. You will receive an email from student support to remind you when I am coming. So usually it happens on the second week, about a Wednesday or Thursday of your second week. That should have given you enough time to get to know residents, your staff, have a look at your assessment. You should have started doing your assessments already. And when I come to visit, you would have been writing on your logbook. And this is the time that I will be checking your logbook. Okay, so when I come to visit, I'm going to have a look at your logbook. I'm going to gather some information and feedback from your supervisor, from the residents, from the family. I'm going to be observing you doing some task. I might see you feeding, taking your client out for a walk. I want to see how you interact with your client and your co-workers. I will be looking at all of that. And once I gather all of that, I will be giving you some feedback on what you are doing well and where you can improve. All right. And that's why I come and visit you in the middle week, because then you have more time at the end of your work placement to fix any issues that you may have. If you are recording your logbook incorrectly, I can give you some feedback and tell you how to do it better, all of those things. So it will give you opportunity to fix any issue. And my visit will also give you an opportunity to clarify anything that maybe you are not sure of. It's also the time for you to let me know how you were going, how you were feeling, all of that sort of stuff. So that is what that day will be. Now, just the key points going away from here. Actually, beforehand, there's something I remembered over here. I want you to know that we have actually spoken to your facility. Okay, so your facility knows that you are a student. So on your first 5 hours in the facility, you are on the floor. You are helping with the breakfast and the lunch. You're helping with the showering, the toileting, the grooming, all of those things that in our logbook you will be doing. You'll be doing the shaving, using pelican belts, hoist, all of that sort of stuff. But after your lunch break, so usually you will be feeding your client and then you go to lunch after lunch. And when you go to lunch, after that in the afternoon, I do not expect you to go back on the floor. That is your time after your lunch break to concentrate on your assessment. This is your time to get to know, to read the care plan for the people with dementia. This is your time to choose the 2 people with diversity that you want to profile and visit those clients. Okay. So if you have 2 clients in mind, maybe you have, Mrs. Jones and, or client 1 and client 2. Please remember, privacy. Do not use your client's full name when you are doing your assessments, okay? You can just write client 1 and client 2 and talk about them. So if you have decided to do, or you can use their first name. If you have decided that client 1, John, is the one that you are going to profile on the afternoon of your shift, so maybe from 1 o'clock to, your last 2 hours, you will go and read John's care plan. You will go and visit John and have a chat with John. Find out, where did he grow up? What is his favorite food? Spend some time with John. Preferably, make sure that your supervisor knows who you are profiling, So then you can work with your facility to get to know these clients. So in the afternoon, concentrate on your assignments, okay? So work on your assignments every day, the night before or the day before. Write down some of the questions that you are going to tackle for the next day and do it that way. Is that clear? So at the end, making sure you are writing everything down. So as I said before, key points, read your assessment. The overview of the assessment is very important. Follow instructions for each assessment. Plan the duties that you are going to perform from the day before. Use your time wisely and email me if you need anything. Now, right at the beginning of this PowerPoint, you will see two emails. One was my email, Jinky McDowell, from Charter, and the other one is for student support. This is also our phone number. So if there is anything at all that you are worried about, you can contact us, email me. Now, let me just go back on to accelerate. Okay, so we've got over here, I have just opened the PowerPoint, which is over here. There is also a Chinese version of instructions that you want. With your logbook, so this is your logbook over here, okay? This is the logbook that I have been talking about. You can download this yourself or go to your our school, talk to student support, and they will give you a copy. So as you go through the logbook, you will see student name. Write your student name then. Write your student number. Write your host organization. Again, there is lots of information here for you. Please read that at your own convenience. This is the logbook. This is the supervisor area that I was talking about. Each time you write the duties that you have done, so from our PowerPoints before, the duties that I was talking about with our logbook, bed bathing, undressing, feeding, oral hygiene, all of that you will find in your logbook over here. So for example, you may have done some showering today, so just write showering. Maybe you did some feeding, write feeding. Maybe you did shaving. All of these 10 things. You don't have to do all of them in one day, but I want to see all of these at least 3 times in the 15 days that you were there. I am going to be seeing a lot of showering and feeding and oral hygiene, but sometimes these two, the bed bathing and the shaving, are the two that can be difficult to do because most of your clients do some showering. So bed bathing may not be part of what they do all the time. So you may only have 2 clients, 3 clients that does bed bathing. So make sure that you ask your supervisor, hey, I need to do 3 bed bathing. So can I be assigned to a client that needs a bed bath tomorrow? You may be attending a lot of women clients, so make sure that you ask, hey, I need to attend to somebody who needs shaving because I have to do at least 3 shaving. Okay, so all of this has to be written on this section of your logbook. Every day you write the date. Please do not be too over diligent and write all the days up already. Some people do that. But if you end up being sick or there is a COVID outbreak or something happens, then you can just end up messing up your logbook. So just be conscious, write it, every day as you go. Okay, so the day's late. What time did you start? If you start at 7 o'clock, what time did you finish? If you finished at 3 o'clock, you need to write your break. If you had a 30-minute break, you need to minus the break from your starting time and your completed time. So if you start at 7 o'clock, 7, and you finish at 3 o'clock, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, that's 8 hours, but you had a 30-minute break, your total time is only 7.5 hours. So in fact, you will need to start at 7 and finish at 3:30 to complete 8-hour total. You can complete 8-hour total, and that will make it 15 days for you for your work placement. If you're only doing 5 hours here, 5 hours there, I'm sure you can do that. You're just going to make your days longer because we need 120 hours in total. So once you have written that, your date, the time you started, the time you finish, your break, and the total hours, and then you need to write all of the tasks that you did for that day. Then you can sign. So a lot of people don't realize this is a signature section, not just writing your name. This is your signature. So please sign it with your signature. If you are Japanese, you can write your Japanese letters. So it's your signature I am looking for. And then you show that to your supervisor for that day. Your supervisor can be the manager, it can be the RN, it could also be the buddy that you have been with all day. Okay, so because they know what you did, so they can sign that. That is not a problem. It depends on the facility that you are working for. But whoever signs this section, it's very important that I have their information on this section. I only need their information on this section one time. Okay, so I know that I can see that this signature is so and so. So if you were working with Tahina, so she signs it over here. I want Tahina's information over here. So maybe she will write, her name is Jane Tahina. I will see her signature and I will match that signature to this signature. Okay. And then it will have her information. What was she? Was she an AIN? Is she a registered nurse? Is she, a PCA? And then I also need the contact number. What is her contact number? You can give her mobile number there. You can give the work number, but I need to be able to contact that person, whoever is signing that. Is that clear? So that is how you do your logbook. Write the time that you started, the time that you finished, your break time, the total time. Write the activities that you have participated on. What task did you do daily, which is this little area, and then sign it. And then get your supervisor to sign it, and they can read what you have written and they can approve that in fact you did participate that day. And anyone that signs this, I need their information over the supervisor details. I only need the information once. If you know, Jane has signed this one already and she signs your one here, and then 5 days later she signs again. I don't need her information again. I only need the information once. So that is how you do your logbook. So I think that is pretty much it. We have tackled all of it. Where is the assessments that you are going to be looking at? Over here. Oh, last thing. Once you have filled in your logbook, what do you do with it? What do you do with the logbook? You will create a file. I need this to be a PDF, please. I really don't want people taking just pictures. If you were going to take pictures, okay, but create a file, okay? So when you submit it over here, this is where you're going to submit it in your assessment. Work, placement, logbook, submission, okay? You will click that. And over here, it will tell you that you need to show that you have done 120 hours. All right. And you will submit down here and create, like I said, a file. I want you to make sure that you write down over here your workplace. Where did you attend? So if you went to, you know, Lansdowne Garden, write Lansdowne Garden, Man Street. How many hours did you complete? You should complete 120 hours. Now, some people are working in another facility. They are getting paid already to work. So maybe they have completed 80 hours in the work placement and 40 hours in their workplace. Okay, so two different things, work placement and workplace. The workplace, I will need to you write that down. How many hours did you work in your workplace? Now over here, you will submit the work placement logbook. You will download it there in a file, a PDF file, so I can open it. So this one is for work placement logbook. If you are working in a facility, if you are working in a facility and you need to submit workplace evidence, that goes on this section, okay? So for some people, they have read this and they don't know where to submit the logbook. The logbook goes over here for the work placement. This one is for workplace evidence. So this is for people that are working in a facility already and they need to submit some proof that they are working. So if this does not apply to you, please do not bother with it. This only applies for people that are working in workplace. So work placement logbook, right over there, workplace is there. And then your assignments, there should be 3 assignments that you need to write, handwritten, and submit, which is CHC age 11, CHC age 13, and the diversity for international students. And of course, the logbook. So that is it. I think I've explained everything. Good luck, students. If there is anything you need, please email student support at chartereducation.au. And they will help you with anything. If you have any questions in regards to your assessment and assignments, you can email me. My name is Jinky Maktal. Now, I must say, I may not be the person that is observing you. So if it is another facilitator, then make sure that you email them. All of this should still be the same thing that they will be looking for, but you will need to email them. So this particular one applies for CHC33021 Certificate 3 in Individual Support Work Placement. That's it. Good luck. If you miss something, you've got the video, you can just rewind and have a look all over again. Okay. Thank you very much. Good luck. And do us proud. I'm sure you're gonna do great. Bye. Bye. All right, I gotta stop this recording. Gosh, I hope it did record. Stop recording. Bye.